At first glance, they might not catch your attention. They observe quietly, poised and dignified. Unfazed by the chaos around them, they don't seek your affection. Instead, they simply watch. And here's where the journey begins. While you consider yourself training your Rhodesian Ridgeback, it's likely they're the ones schooling you. This insight often goes unshared. Ridgebacks possess an understated intelligence. They shy away from attention-seeking antics. Unlike border collies, they rarely perform tricks for your delight. Instead, they think thoughtfully, strategically. They pick up on patterns, moods, and emotional cues. Gradually and subtly, they start to mold the dynamics of your home. They figure out when it's time for walks, meals, and how much patience to exercise based on your tone, not your commands. Over time, they establish their own set of guidelines. Owners of Ridgebacks truly understand this dynamic. They've experienced it personally. You may ask them to sit, but they simply regard you, not out of ignorance, but weighing if the moment is right. It's not about asserting authority. Rather, it's about thoughtful discernment. Such intelligence is not disobedience, it's about making choices. Consider Jason and his Ridgeback, Kaya. Jason had always owned German Shepherds, enthusiastic and constantly eager for clues. But Kaya was unlike her predecessors. She wouldn't retrieve items. She often ignored initial commands. Jason assumed stubbornness, until he recognized that she responded decisively when it truly mattered. On hikes, when strangers appeared, she would instantly be at his side. But during training exercises? Selective hearing. Kaya wasn't being disobedient, she was prioritizing her focus. This is what sets Ridgebacks apart. They don't comply solely because you instruct them. They need to feel that your requests hold genuine importance. If you lack consistency, radiate chaos, or are vague, they will tune you out. Not out of rebellion, but from a place of distrust in what you will invoke next. And this is where the cleverness emerges. Should you become frustrated? They withdraw even more. If you push them harder? They respond with graceful resistance. They withdraw, not from fear, but because they recognize that your emotional state isn't worth mirroring. This is the essence of their power, and their humbling nature. They refuse to emulate chaos, instead, they gracefully sidestep it. And here's the truth that's seldom mentioned. Ridgebacks are quick learners, especially when it comes to gauging limits, adapting your responses, and maximizing freedoms with minimal exertion. They may forget commands they've known for years. Not from confusion, but because you disrupted the established pattern, and they've chosen not to fill in the gaps for you. Such intelligence can be particularly exasperating for some. Especially for those seeking obedience instead of partnership. Yet, if you're willing to engage in their game, if you promote consistency, respect, and calm leadership, testing behavior will ease. Connection will flourish. Because Ridgebacks are not looking for a boss. They seek a partner. Someone they can trust to lead with clarity, devoid of force. Someone whose requests merit respect. Once they pick up on that, their loyalty deepens. They don't merely obey, they invest. But reaching that point is essential. And to arrive there, you'll need to outsmart the one that seeks to outsmart you. This means recognizing the patterns they perceive. Regulating the energy they sense. Establishing expectations that are clear and non-negotiable, not through shouting, but through precise communication. When you succeed in this, the change is remarkable. The dog that once disregarded commands begins to follow with confident tranquility. Independence transitions into reliability. What may seem aloofness morphs into steadfast devotion. Not because you crushed their spirit, but because you aligned with their thought process. And suddenly, it dawns on you, they never aimed to outsmart you for victory. They did it to determine if you could be a worthy leader. Now that you've proven yourself, they follow like no other dog ever could.